Avatar: The Last Airbender is a horrible, terrible, awful show on Netflix. The original cartoon was wonderful, and yet you're going to get stuck with a season 3 despite season 2 bombing. So why? Why would they make a season 3? Why would they continue on? We've got answers. We know why this disaster is just going to continue on. Folks, welcome back yet again to the channel that continues to keep you ahead of the culture curve. Entertainment Explained. That's what we do around here with a zeal that even the Holly Weirds can feel. Is it worse than Acolyte? It might be worse than Acolyte. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, a franchise that apparently anybody with any kind of sanity despises because it's been wokeified. As we dive into this conversation with Fake Wizard Nat from Nat and the Guy and Jonas J. Campbell, throw us a little bit of a assist here today, folks. We would wish for you to click the like button, share, subscribe, and click it. Stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Avatar: The Last Airbender is no longer a cartoon, and yet somehow it's less mature in its real-life action form. We've got this out of Variety. Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 debuts with 8.7 million views in 4 days. That's basically down 60% from Season 1, and there's no doubt why that is. This thing is terrible. Not only is it poorly cast, not only is it poorly acted, not only have they injected woke into it, but also it's just awful in terms of the delivery of every single episode. This is going nowhere, and I'm saying now, I think they need to put it out of its misery. I think they should cancel Season 3. The article says Season 2 of Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender debuted with 8.7 million views in 4 days. That total took it to the number 2 position in the streamer's weekly English-language TV rankings, but it represents a huge drop-off from Season 1. In 2024, the series debuted with 21.2 million views. By the way, if they have this kind of drop-off between Season 2 and Season 3, then they would be down around 3 million and change the next time, and that's just not sustainable. Wiz, I want to go to you about this one first. This show is awful. It's terribly casted. I can't find anything to like about it. Can you? I mean, you've suffered through some of this, right? Did you see the whole thing?
We watched the whole thing, and it's miserable.
Wiz,
in 7 hours, I'll never get back. When we watched the whole thing just so we could do a proper review on it, and we ended up taking notes the whole show of all of the things that they changed. Just on the notes, it's about 4.5 pages of things, because the animated show is fantastic. It's a wonderful story with great characters. It's good for kids. It's all good for adults. The music is great. Everything about the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, those first 3 seasons and nothing else, is lightning in a bottle. It is creative genius. This show is attempting to replicate perfection, and you're going to fail. But on top of that, they take creative liberties on things that they should not be touching. They change things around. They change characters around. There is nothing redeemable about The Last Avatar, the Last Airbender on Netflix. And I'll take it one step further. It's worse than The Acolyte. This is worse than The Acolyte. I don't understand how every month somehow we are getting things that are like, oh my gosh, it's worse than the last thing. That was the worst thing I thought we could ever get. And yeah, this is truly one of the worst pieces of media. I won't even call it television. It is one of the worst pieces of media ever created. This is god awful. And there's people there, there's still, there's a handful, a very small handful of people that are like, well, I watched it and I enjoyed it. It's not great, but it's something. That's the problem. That's the problem. You're
I don't know if you've
with mediocrity.
I don't know if you've seen this, Wiz, but there is a massive effort underway currently to convince people that the casting here was not terrible, that it's not awful, that these actresses look. I mean, this is so embarrassing even to them. I would think that they don't look like they do in the show. So I don't know if they're trying to blame the costuming and the makeup, but there's this effort underway to show them in real life and be like, see, she's not really portly. It's like, are we seriously doing that as the defense here? I mean,
well, it's worse than that, bro. It's like, because season 1, they were cast as kids. So they looked like kids because they're supposed to be young kids. But now, because they let so much time go by before Netflix renewed the second season, they come back for season 2. Now these kids look like young adults. They look like they're like kind of finishing up high school. Whether they are or not is irrelevant, but they have physically changed a lot. So now you've got issues where it's like, hey, firstly, they don't look like the characters they're supposed to be playing. But now I can't take the story as seriously because a lot of the situations in play here is supposed to be children coming to terms with what's going on and how they're dealing with their emotions through the lens of being children. These are whiny teenagers now in this show. It's terrible.
Is this worse than the final season of Stranger Things, you think?
I think this is worse than the final season. Stranger Things had this thing of building upon, like you're building up to a finale, right? There's something to look forward to. This particular season, this is the middle. This is the act 2 of this 3-act story, and there's incredible moments, right? That you're wanting to catch these moments made into live action. But no, they destroy every single moment. So it's just a slog the whole time with nothing to look forward to other than more of slog.
Is this a result of trying to wokeify it to make changes because they're smarter and better than the original show?
Well, I would take it to an even worse level because what they do and how they do it. And we talked about this with Supergirl. We've talked about it with Toy Story 5, I mean. It's covert. It's done subliminally. It's done in the small things. It's done in the small conversations. And it's through the dialogue now. So instead of having, Avengers A-Force and all the women get it done, stand together in Endgame where it was like total cringe, they know they can't do that anymore. And what they do to legacy characters that mean so much and with moments that really carry the original show, they hijack that and they change it. I mean, Uncle Iroh, people are, Uncle Iroh who's one of the most important characters in all of season 2 in the animation. Oh, well, they got him right. It's like, no, it's not even close.
Right. And they handed a bunch of the lines to a different character. Is it Kyoshi that gets a lot of the lines in season 2 versus some of the other characters? It's always a female explaining what's really going on as opposed to yeah. Nat, the cost.
Go ahead.
Nat, the cost on this is intense. At the low end, it's estimated to be $120 million for season 2 alone. These companies continue to do this, and I don't understand why they can't just respect the source material. And if it's not going to be authentic, then don't go for it. Don't do it. And yet they keep doing this over and over again. You would think a company like Netflix would say, hey, we're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to protect the, this IP. And instead, this just is on loop. I'm shocked. It's like 4 years past where I thought they would have learned by now.
Well, I don't think they'll ever learn until they fully clean house, honestly. But also, I don't know if it's a popular or unpopular opinion, but I don't understand. Like, the whole point of Avatar, in my opinion, was that it was animated and the things could happen that couldn't happen anywhere else. And even if you try to make it seem live, that suspension of disbelief at some point does get broken. And especially if you're doing it poorly. And I think a lot of these remakes and just cash grabs, in my opinion, are just for that, or just to try to revive the spirit, but by doing it poorly. So you can't revive the spirit.
But they're never satisfied with the spirit. They never sit down and say, okay, there's a magic to this. There's a reason that this was esteemed, why it took off. They're always smarter and better, Nat. They're always betterer. And they always know where to make the changes and how to fix it. And it turns out that's, when you're dealing with something that's beloved at this level, whether it's a Star Wars or an Avatar: The Last Airbender, a lot of people consider this to be the greatest serious cartoon series ever made. And these people always think they know the best. And it's never that way. It's never, ever that way. And they don't learn. It's amazing.
If I may, there's one specific. I'm sorry, I'm cutting it out. There's one specific moment, real quick, and then Nat, I'll throw it back to you. There's a moment in the animation where Iroh is acting as a father scolding a kid who's done something terrible. They changed it in the live action to be where instead of being a father scolding a son, it is the father saying, you were right to do that. You're okay. Everything is going to be fine. You didn't make any mistakes. It is as if the writers are trying to write out parents being allowed to be parents. Sorry, go.
Go ahead, Nat.
Oh, me. Sorry, I thought it cut out. And then I cut out. But I was going to say, ideologically, they think that their version of what should be done is what is right. And there is no discussing that. So for them, it will always be, yes, our version is the best one. And it's the one that has to be at the forefront because we're bettering everything. We're making Snow White better because we're inserting and we're changing, shifting the ways that it was to, and I don't know if they honestly believe it at this point, but they think that they're making, by virtue signaling, they think that they're making it better for everybody else, but they're not. They're just ruining it, but they can't see it because they can't see the failures of their own ways.
Jonas, by any chance, are you an Avatar Last Airbender fan?
You know, oddly enough, I was one of the times that I went to a pro retreat. I had to do some editing work, and I put on Avatar: The Last Airbender in the background while I worked. So I got kind of partway through season 1, and its quality. I've seen season 1 of the live action, and I liked the first season of the live action, despite apparently missing some of the changes that they made. I like the show. I hate that eventually it did go woke. They added in things that were inappropriate for a children's show in the second series, Legend of Korra. So it just kind of made it into this thing that I don't want to advertise it to my kids and try to get them interested in it, which is the way all of this stuff eventually fails, is they forget that you actually need to cultivate a young audience and not try to go for the cross-generational, because the cross-generational will happen on its own. So I like the show. I think it's probably of quality. I don't like that a live action remake of anything means buckle up. It's going to be awful.
But we're there. We're pretty much there.
Yeah.
And Wiz, this has cemented it, I think. Your call on what I've said, I think they should can an effort on season 3. I think this is enough.
I don't want to see a season 3.
Yeah, because you'll have to watch it.
Filmed. Yeah, because they'll have to watch it. There's nowhere else to go but down. Like season 3 is so important, and they're not going to land on anything. But they've already shot it, so I know that it's already. They shot 2 and 3 together. That was part of like the contracting that they had issues with getting season 2. Look, it's really bad. But to Jonas's point, the first 3 seasons are great. They're excellent in isolation, but they also have a definitive ending. You don't need to watch anything. I haven't. Personally, I refuse to. I'm done. You know, the only reason we watched this live action series was so that we could properly review it. But otherwise, I haven't watched Korra. I'm not interested in the spin-off movie, or I'm not interested in anything other than those first 3 seasons. Avatar ended in 2008, and leave it that way. It's great.
You know, when you stick around for the entire video, it really does help the channel. And we're so appreciative of that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that you would stick around and hear everything we have to say. The studio is glistening because you're listening each and every day. If you're not yet subscribed, well, you should be. And click that like button. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.